Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for attending the annual Faculty of Arts internship event. We're very, very glad that you got to join us online this year. My name is Miriam and I'm very honored to be the moderator today. So just a little bit about myself. I'm an MA student in political science and development studies, and I completed 2 internships with the Arts Internship Office. One at the Center for Democratic Development in Accra, Ghana in 2019, and another one last summer at Social Justice Connection Montreal, which was a remote internship. I was also the recipient of the Pathy Foundation Fellowship, and my cohort will be merging with next year's cohort due to the pandemic. Otherwise, a few weeks ago, I started a placement at the Ontario Legislature Internship Program, which has been really nice so far. So the annual Faculty of Arts internship event is to celebrate the successful summer internships of students from the Faculty of Arts and their accomplishments despite the challenging circumstances with the current pandemic. So in the summer of 2020, 119 Faculty of Arts students received over $400,000 as recipients of the 2020 Faculty of Arts Internship Awards. Also, 34 arts undergraduate students received $153,000 as recipients of the 2020 ARIA Award. So ARIA is the Arts Undergraduate Research Internship Awards, and it really aims to support art undergraduates who conduct summer research internships with McGill professors. So both these awards are generously supported by McGill alumni and the Arts Undergraduate Society, so AUS. So many thanks to all of our donors and AUS for making these internship opportunities possible. So last summer, our students, including myself, interned remotely in Canada or in their home countries, and they really adjusted themselves to the new normal and showed tremendous resilience during the pandemic. So the AIO office also provided online internship workshops to support remote internships during the summer. So a big congratulations to all the AIO and ARIA award recipients. So what's on the agenda today? Today's event will be divided into 2 main parts. So first, the presentation, and second, the Q&A sessions. So AIO interns will share their firsthand internship experiences last summer. Then we'll have the Q&A sessions where you can ask questions directly to student speakers or AIO staff and learn about upcoming internship opportunities, different awards, internship academic credits, the AMI program, and other upcoming AIO events, and of course, any other questions that you have, you can ask then. So a few rules before we begin. So the event will be recorded. Please mute yourselves during the presentations just to avoid background noise. And you can choose to turn your camera on if you're comfortable too. If not, that's okay. Q&A sessions will follow after the presentations. So please save your questions for these sessions and we'll be more than happy to answer them then. That being said, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Darshan Daryani, who completed an internship with the Institute for Human Development and Wellbeing. So Darshan, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I am Darshan Sanjay. After 3 years of being part of the AIO family, it is my pleasure to share my experience, provide advice to future interns, and extend the invitation for all of you to be a part of this grand big family. Summer 2020 was a unique one, and I cannot think of a better way to have spent it. With the Institute for Human Development and Wellbeing, I have had the opportunity to research, work with partner organizations, and publish a book. Some of the key highlights with the IHDW include my research project called Do No Harm, which seeks to examine international and indigenous communities in which girls and young women are subject to exceptionally high rates of sexual violence, especially in the time of COVID-19. Moreover, with partner organizations such as the Artful Research Inquiry Group, I organized the Imagining Virtual Symposium to document and learn from emergent work of indigenous reconciliation. Currently, I'm helping with the We Will Walk Together event, and today marks the start of the Orange Shirt Day. Additionally, I'm helping with the Connections Virtual Symposium. Furthermore, together with the Listening to One Another Grow Strong project, a community-driven and culturally adapt program for Indigenous youth and their families, we developed a toolkit to harness technologies to foster communication and connection within and across communities in this time when technology has taken over traditional means of meeting. Following a successful publication of Art Connecting, a book that serves as a reminder for workshops with children of asylum-seeking families, I facilitated weekly art-based workshops with refugee children in collaboration with Bienvenue Montreal and Maison de Haiti to create a conscious effort to build a momentary community in the time of distancing. Lastly, I collaborated with Women on Web to help with social media and digital communication strategies, primarily TikTok, to provide a global access to safe abortion and contraception. Now that I hope you're inspired by the experience and the different things I did with the IHTW, I would like to share with you 3 pieces of advice. Firstly, when you have secured your internship, I would like for you to be proud of yourselves. You have gained an incredible opportunity to learn with experts who love their jobs, and this opportunity will definitely be mutually beneficial as you learn from each other and embrace each other's talents. Secondly, if you have an idea, share it. If you have a plan, show it. This will make sure that you are able to impress your supervisors and at the same time take initiative on projects that you really want to do. Your supervisors will definitely be proud of the effort you're making towards your projects. Thirdly, and most importantly, build relationships. Doing an internship is about building lifelong relationships. It is more than getting 500 connections on LinkedIn, and definitely more than building just your CV. So while my internship has spurred my interest to research, to think critically, and gain valuable hands-on experience, working with such a wonderful team has also inspired me to learn, to advance, and to make an impact. All in all, I can assure you that an internship opportunity will encourage you to gain in-depth experiences, benefit from ongoing mentorship, and broaden your global horizons. Overall, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family for the continuous encouragement, Professor Claudia Mitchell for her support and inspiration, the Participatory Cultures Lab, and the Institute for Human Development for making my summer meaningful. I would like to thank the Arts Internship Office for providing the financial support needed to pursue this opportunity. The AIO's commitment and investment to my future has definitely opened doors for myself both personally and professionally. I would like to lastly thank all of you for attending this event, and I hope you have a good evening. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Sajneet Magnat, who will talk about her experience with the Polis project. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Darshan. Hello, everybody. I am Sajneet. I am indeed the person in the picture. My summer internship with the Polis project as a research assistant was unlike any other. For starters, I seized every opportunity that I got to wear my formal shirts with pajamas. But even more importantly, I feel that my experience with a hybrid research and journalism organization simultaneously put my work and the turbulent status quo that we live in into massive perspective. So in February, I was imagining my summer in New Delhi, where I was slated to work with the High Commission of Canada as an advocacy intern. My dreams to navigate one of the largest cities in India as a young Indian woman from a small town, however, were cut short by COVID-19, endangering every sense of security throughout the world. And this is where I sought an opportunity to ground myself. And since I was a fan of cold calling, I emailed one of my favorite progressive online publication, the Polis Project, inquiring about summer positions. 2 weeks after no avail, I learned that the research director at the Polis had been a cousin's teaching assistant in an undergraduate course during her time at UC Berkeley. She put in a word, and I promptly received an interview. I used to be ashamed of asking for favors this way, but this experience really shed light on the importance of networking, but also solidarities I saw among women in academia. Over the 4 months, I created a massive data set on political violence in India in the years 2019 to the present today. Often, I use my data visualization skills picked up from McGill courses to augment the project's investigative journalism. Interacting weekly with academics with such public-oriented research with on-ground politically dangerous outcomes was an insight to how academia could be imagined as activism. And the pollers adapted their research to the times we currently live in, one of polarization and pandemics. As elections are stated in a few key states in India this year, we also focused on ways to track electoral violence and hate speech for online political rallies. Every day I woke up passionate to learn and work on my country's democratic knowledge. It was a peek into the form of career I envisioned, and also the capability to adapt to personal and social crises. And central to my ability to succeed in this internship was the support I received from various McGill organizations and departments, including but not limited to the Faculty of Arts Internship Office, the Faculty of Arts Undergraduate Society, and the Scholarship and Student Aid Office. It would be truly reductive to say that they simply helped me. The award was in fact instrumental in maintaining a sense of security and dignity of my labor. So as much as I love talking, this summer really did put a lot of things into perspective. I witnessed the spotlighted inequities of our time, managed workloads with kinfolk suffering from the coronavirus, and also traveled far away from Montreal to support my family in areas hard hit by the pandemic. All in all, working tirelessly on a democratic project I was proud to have been part of. So I'm honored to have received that opportunity. And from me wearing sweatpants with bottom-ups, I really thank everybody who made this possible. And with that, I now invite Eve Cable, who interned with the Regent Park Film Festival, to share their experience. Thank you.
Hi guys, so I'm Eve. I'm a third-year cultural studies student, and I interned this summer at the Regent Park Film Festival between May and June. So had it been in person, I would have been organizing their Under the Stars Film Festival, which is an outdoor in-person event, but we moved it online. So my role kind of changed as an intern there to be a little bit more focused on marketing and outreach. But this was a really useful way to learn skills that I wasn't expecting this summer, and to learn things that I liked and things that I didn't like about that kind of job, which really informed my future. So I had a really good amount of communication with the Arts Internship Office throughout this whole process, which was really, really helpful because of the uncertainty of COVID, and I didn't know until very late whether or not it was going to be in person, but I was able to have constant communication with people like Anne at the Arts Internship Office, which was really reassuring, and she let me know a lot of guidance when applying for funding, as well as reassuring me that I would still be able to have my summer funded, which was a really big help and something that I didn't know was a resource that we had available to us prior to this summer. So getting responses very quickly from the Arts Internship Office and reassurances, for example, extensions on my funding applications, was really helpful with being able to budget for the whole summer. And they were helpful with even reaching out regarding things like how long I should be waiting for a response to my application and things like that. So I found the posting for my internship at the Regent Park Film Festival on the Arts Internship Office website, but you should be aware that you can still apply for funding and still get help from the Arts Internship Office without having to find the position on their listings. But there is a huge amount of really, really exciting internships on there, and it's a really great way to sort of have a little bit more of a direct connection with the organization themselves. So I applied for it directly through the office, and that was really good because I was able to reach out and be like, hi, how long should I be waiting for an interview with these people? Which really helped me improve my things like email etiquette and interview etiquette for going into that. So that's definitely something to bear in mind, is that the Arts Internship Office is a really good resource for looking for postings, especially when it feels like it's a very competitive market and it's hard to find these opportunities. So in terms of funding, I want to say thank you to Lev Bookman and his family for funding my award this summer. That was a really, really incredible part of still being able to do a remote internship, but also being funded and recognized for your work. And it also really proved to me that the people at the Arts Internship Office and McGill do really care about what you're doing in your summer internships and do want to see you succeed and thrive. So the process, it looks a little bit daunting at first, but it's actually really easy. I'd recommend like getting a friend to help. My roommate and we sat down and we did our funding applications together, and we used, you just use a spreadsheet and you sort of put into that all of your foreseeable expenses, things like travel, food, rent, that kind of thing. I found it very useful to do a lot of online research about like average living prices and things like that. At the time when I applied, it was going to be in person in Toronto. So I really looked into things like a travel pass, working out how long it would take me to get to work, that kind of thing. As well as reaching out to the Arts Internship Office. Like Anne can confirm that I was emailing her a lot looking for advice and getting clarification. So definitely just make sure that your funding application is really specific, and the Arts Internship Office can definitely see that and help match you up to applicable awards. So working at the Regent Park Film Festival this summer was definitely one of the first professional experiences I've had that's helped sort of shape my academic and professional career, because I made such good connections with my coworkers, and I really, really tried to bond with them because of the virtual aspect of this. I actually ended up being linked to other professionals that they know and being able to do paid freelance work remotely for them after my internship finished. So that really showed to me that I was still able to benefit a lot from the work that I was doing, even though it was remote. And it also like meant that I know for a fact that my boss in future is going to be able to recommend me to others, and like you can be proud of yourself for still being able to show all that in a remote setting, which I was definitely nervous about, but it definitely didn't limit me at all in terms of my professional and academic future. It gave me a really good understanding of how to reach out to other people via networking, and how to like not be afraid to say, hi, like, can I just call you and talk to you about your job and where you got to, like, by studying different things in your life. I was able to talk to a lot of other industry professionals purely just to ask them what their job entails and whether they like it, which was a really, really fun part. And as I mentioned earlier, being in this role helped me understand what aspects I liked about this industry. For example, involvement in programming, understanding of the film and entertainment industry, understanding of the film and entertainment industry in Toronto specifically, and then also things that I didn't like quite so much. For example, I had never really tried getting involved in marketing type of things before, and I don't really think I want to go into marketing now, but it definitely allowed me to play to my strengths, and I was able to work with my team so that I could take on things that I was A, better at, and B, more interested in doing. So this will definitely help me tailor my future applications to roles that I know that I enjoy and roles that I know that I'm talented in. I was able to contribute some filmmakers that I knew from class into programming as well. So that was a way for me to really apply things that I've learned in cultural studies and my world cinemas minor to my sort of academic field. And it was a really good way to sort of see that what I'm studying can be applied to the career that I want to go into. So overall, the big thing for me was that the Arts Internship Office was so communicative, and was so eager and willing to help. And the people at the office really care about the students, and they really care about helping you and setting you up for success. They want to give you funding, like they want to hand you money. So the better that you can shape your application, the more effort and time and care that you can put into that, the more likely you are to succeed with your application. And there are a lot of really, really generous donors at McGill who also want to see people succeed in, like, with their donations and things like that. So with that in mind, I would like to hand over to Nathan so that he can share a little bit about his experience, but I'm happy to answer any questions in my little Q&A breakout room later.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Devereaux. This summer, I interned with the South Rift Association of Landowners, or SRALO for short. I received funding for this internship through the Alali Hodgkin Award, and I want to thank Mr. Hodgkin and the Arts Internship Office for having given me this opportunity. Serralo mainly focuses on protecting the landscape and wildlife in the South Rift of Kenya. What drew me to this internship is Serralo's approach to including the Maasai in this process. The Maasai are the indigenous people of the South Rift, and Serralo puts a lot of their focus on protecting their culture and resources. I found it interesting how many different dimensions Serralo took with their approach, improving the South Rift not just for the wildlife and tourism, but for the Maasai as well. Having this internship during the pandemic was very beneficial for me. It was disappointing not to be able to go to Kenya in person, especially after all the planning that went into it, but I was grateful to be able to do this internship in whatever way I could. The sense that I was contributing to an organization I really believed in gave me a lot of motivation and helped to take away from the stress of everything going on in the world. I understand that many of you may be hesitant on the idea of an online internship, but I cannot recommend it enough. Interning online with Serralo was an amazing experience, and I recommend anyone thinking of a career in the environment, conservation, or Indigenous studies to apply for this internship. I now would like to just provide some general advice for applying for an internship with the Arts Internship Office. So number one, if you're in first year, you can apply for any of the internship listings. Don't wait until next year. These are great opportunities, and some internships may not be around if you wait. Number two, focus on making a strong CV and cover letter. These documents are essential to the application process, and McGill has great resources to help you develop them. Number three, reach out to the Arts Internship Office. They're helpful and very responsive, so make sure you take advantage of that. The Arts Internship Office is really one of the best assets you have as an art student at McGill. I cannot recommend it enough, and I hope you will all apply to be a part of it. I would now like to introduce the next speaker, Emily Chen, who is studying Urban Systems Geography and Cognitive Science. She interned with ENBW Asia Pacific.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Emily, and I'm a U3 Honors Urban Systems Geography student with a minor in Cognitive Science. So this summer I had the opportunity to intern as a technical project analyst at Energy Baden-Württemberg, Asia Pacific. Thank you to the very generous support from the Andre King Wee-Tan Externship Award. So I was actually able to work with ENBW as one of 20 participants from 6 countries in the 2020 Global Talent Internship Program, which was hosted by the Taiwan Ministry of Science and Technology. So I applied to this program because I wanted to work at a company whose work closely related to my interests in socially impactful technology and sustainable cities. So ENBW comprises a small but very dynamic and interdisciplinary team, and they work on offshore wind development and sustainable infrastructure like solar energy and hydropower, specifically in Taiwan. So their office is based in Taipei, but this summer I worked remotely, which certainly took some getting used to since there was a 12-hour difference between my supervisors and myself. So I found this internship actually through an email from the Taiwan consulate in my hometown of Boston. So one of the first points of advice that I have for everyone is to sign up for newsletters or listservs on topics or organizations that interest you. Many of these communities will post job and internship opportunities throughout the year, and a lot of them are really interesting, and some of them are specifically targeted at undergraduate students. The second piece of advice that I have is to not be intimidated at all by the AIO office and by the internships that they post. I'm now in my 4th year, and I guess one of the biggest, I wouldn't say regrets, but definitely I wish I had applied sooner to some of the roles that are out there into the funding, because as previously mentioned by Eve and Nathan, they are really here to help and support us. So that doesn't just mean reaching out to them with questions, but as I said, putting out an application for a lot of the roles that are on there. I think that especially in such a large faculty as the Faculty of Arts, it can be hard to find individual attention and support as much as this office is able to provide for us. And I have had some of the most supportive and inspiring individuals work with me through this office. Thirdly, developing skills outside of the classroom is a vital part of an arts degree. And so this office is obviously an amazing resource for that. But when looking at job descriptions, one of the things that is really important is to think about how the interdisciplinary nature of a lot of arts programs can actually really support you in applying for internships that aren't necessarily focused specifically in your discipline. So for example, my role this summer was actually targeted more towards applicants with a scientific and engineering background. But in examining some of the soft skills that were needed, I was able to portray myself as a likely candidate that would be a good fit for this role. So never underestimate yourself. That's certainly an important part when applying for jobs. So given the particular uncertainties that the students around me and have faced this summer with many internships canceled, last minute, I was definitely very grateful to both receive this award and also still have the opportunity to work remotely. I will certainly bring the knowledge and skills that I gained to future studies and employment. And in the breakout session, I would be more than happy to answer further questions and provide advice about preparing an internship application or conducting an international internship remotely. So again, thank you very much to Dr. Tan for his generous support, and thank you to the AIO office for their advice. And thank you to everyone in the audience for joining the call this afternoon. I'd now like to introduce our next speaker, Eman Alali. She is a U3 political science student who interned at the Refugee Center this summer.
Hi everyone, my name is Eman Alali. I'm a final year student at McGill studying honors political science with a double minor in social entrepreneurship and Arabic. So over the past summer, I was a social development intern at the Refugee Center working remotely in Montreal. So I'm particularly drawn to migration and diaspora studies and wanted to utilize my educational and cultural background to bring awareness to issues in the Middle East and work with organizations to create sustainable and effective programs for resettlement. So I thought that the Refugee Center would be the best place to do that, because of its comprehensive and an innovative approach in assisting refugees based in Canada. And I also wanted to gain valuable knowledge on the Canadian refugee system. I then wanted to utilize this experience as a research study to receive credit for CENT 499, which is an internship course for the social entrepreneurship minor under the supervision of Professor Carmichael to analyze how social and economic provisions have helped refugees with a focus on policy gaps that have inhibited the integration of refugees. So as an intern, I supported the Refugee Center in compiling resources for an online chat box, connecting refugees in Canada's major cities to essential services. Furthermore, I worked collaboratively with a team to develop and implement a nationwide 3-day conference. So the national conference would bring in a variety of multidisciplinary individuals and organizations from across Canada to address mutual challenges and best practices. So this experience really shaped my future educational and professional endeavors, because I do hope to do a master's in human rights and humanitarian action. And having this opportunity helped me acquire essential experience and insight on what it's like to work in an NGO, if this is something I'm passionate about. And I also wanted to gain valuable research skills that can be useful when embarking on a postgraduate degree. So as a low-income student, I wouldn't have been able to partake in this experience and gain from it had it not been for the inclusivity of the program. So I really would like to thank the family of David Rowland and the Arts Internship Office for their generous support, as without them, I and many others wouldn't have had the opportunity to transform my curiosity into a career path that I'm incredibly passionate about. Their support has enabled me to work from home by helping cover essential living costs, alleviating great financial burden, especially during a global pandemic. So thank you again, the Arts Internship Office, as well as the family of David Rowland. So I'd like to introduce our next student speaker, Emily Draicchio, who interned with the Maskey Archaeological Project.
I think I was on mute. Sorry about that. So thank you, Eman. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Draicchio, and I am currently in my final semester at McGill University, majoring in Joint Honors Art History and Anthropology. Today, I will briefly talk to you about 2 internships I completed last summer in India and this summer working remotely from home in Montreal. Both years, I was an intern for the Massey Archaeological Project, also known as MAP, and supervised by Professor Peter Johansson. MAP is a multidisciplinary research project that studies Neolithic through medieval period societies in southern India. Last summer, I was given the opportunity to go to India and work on site where I applied my knowledge outside of the classroom and developed key archaeological skills, including laboratory research and archaeological fieldwork. And just to visualize, this is where I was working, the background. I found my internship by approaching my professor and asking him about his research. So if you're looking for an internship in the future, I strongly encourage you do the same with a professor whose work you're also interested in. From my experience, I found that McGill professors are very welcoming to students who show an interest in their research, and it never hurts to ask. The worst they can say is they're not looking for anything right now, but that they'll keep you in mind for the future. I will also recommend asking and looking for internships sooner rather than later, since we all know how busy the end of the semester can get. My initial plan was to go back to India to work with MAP again this summer. However, that could not happen due to the global pandemic. Instead, after meeting with AIO and Professor Johansson, we quickly updated the MAP internship so that I can work remotely from home. So in 2019, my duties included the processing, analysis, and curation of archaeological materials. But this year, I instead completed data entry from different data entry and data analysis on the information I collected last year in India. And I also analyzed volumes of medieval inscriptions from different districts in Karnataka, and I organized these in Excel. Like most students planning on interning abroad last summer, I was disappointed seeing that I was looking forward to going to India all year, basically. However, I quickly learned that working from home and completing data entry is still rewarding, just in different ways from my internship in 2019. The on-site work I did last year was only one side of the story, whereas the data entry and analysis I have completed this year has provided me with a full perspective on what it means to be an actively working archaeologist and researcher. As such, the combination of my experiences as an intern last year and this year have really helped me fully prepare for graduate school and develop skills on how I will conduct my own research in the future. MAP has shaped my academic path in the best way possible. As a student completing a double major, I was having a difficult time thinking about graduate school and which field I would choose. Although I still have a passion for art history, MAP has helped me narrow it down to specializing in archaeology. The skills I acquired and the experiences I have gained from these internships over the past 2 years have not only been life-changing, but will also help my prospects for graduate school. Last year, I completed Anthropology 499, which is an internship course, and I did this under the supervision of Professor Johansson. This course counted towards 3 credits of my anthropology major, in which I wrote a final report regarding the rock art we recorded and conducted an interview with Lynn Meskel, an archaeologist and professor of anthropology from Stanford University that I met while interning for MAP. Both years, I received the Faculty of Arts Internship Award, and last year I received additional funding from the Enriched Educational Opportunities. So I would like to thank the Arts Internship Office, Dean Mayoni, and EEO for the funding I received, who together made it possible for me, a student paying for their own tuition, to have this opportunity to complete not 1, but 2 internships. The total funding I received helped me pay for my internship expenses and for my fall 2020 tuition, considering that I wasn't working on my regular full-time job for 8 weeks because of COVID-19 and it was closed. Without this funding, it would have been very difficult for me to pay for my education and living expenses during a pandemic. And I'm very grateful and honored to have received the Faculty of Arts Internship Award. I would also like to thank Professor Johansson for choosing me as both his intern and research assistant for MAP over 2 years. Although we don't know what summer 2021 holds, I would be more than happy to answer any questions fellow students may have, whether it concerns interning abroad or interning remotely from home. Thank you. And I would now like to welcome Luc Gruget, who completed his internship with the Groupe URD.
Hey everyone, thank you Emily for that introduction. I know we're running a little late, so I'll try to wrap it up and fast. But as Emily mentioned, my name is Luc Gruget. I'm in my last year of International Development Studies with minors in Hispanic Studies and Operations Management. This summer, I was incredibly fortunate and was able to intern at the Groupe URD, a humanitarian think tank located just 25 kilometers away from my family's home in the middle of nowhere, south of France. So that was pretty lucky on my part. Thank you very much to France Belle-Île, the incredible woman behind the Ithaca Award that I benefited from this summer. for assisting me in covering my costs. So while working at that prestigious and renowned think tank, I was responsible first for assisting in the translation of publications of their COVID-19 observatory, before being entrusted with the additional responsibility of co-authoring 2 briefing notes on adapting humanitarian and developmental response to a COVID-19 context. So on the screen in front of you, you're able to see one of the briefing notes that I published, which was pretty cool, on how to adapt natural and anthropogenic disaster preparation throughout the world. Now, I'm not going to bore you all with all the details as to what I did over the summer while I was at the Luc Gruget, even though I personally find it fascinating. Instead, I'm going to quickly share with you what may potentially be the most important thing I learned through my internship experience, something with Sajnit also touched upon, the power of networking. Sorry if I butchered your name, by the way, my sincerest apologies. Growing up, we are often told about the power of the connections we have and the need for maintaining the links you have with others, for you're never going to know who is going to be that one person who will help you get that next job or even that dream job you've been waiting for. The problem is, as college students, most of us interact mostly with, guess what, other college students and maybe some professors and friends' parents. Right now, none of your friends realistically have the power to sway a hiring decision one way or another, and you may think your network is just too small to actually be of help. However, the fact that most of your friends are still in uni does not mean that networking is irrelevant in your search for that internship, which will jumpstart your professional career. In fact, it was the basis of my job search this summer. I reached out to anyone and everyone I thought could help. In the end, it was my younger brother's scout leader who referred me and recommended me as an intern to fill their open position, despite having never met me personally. So I didn't even know this guy. It just goes to show, you never know who will help you find that internship. Don't be shy to ask anyone and everyone. You never know who will know something. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I look forward to potentially talking to some of you in the breakout rooms later. Thanks, everyone, and I give the floor back to Catherine. Have a great day, everyone.
So I'd like to thank all the speakers for sharing their internship experiences. It really sounds like you did some amazing work last summer, despite it being remote work. It's really interesting, and hopefully, it's intriguing our guests. So you'll have, some questions during the Q&A session soon. Next, I'd like to introduce Kavya, who is a student staff at AIO, and she will speak about the Faculty of Arts Internship Mentorship Initiative, so the AMI.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kavya, and I'm a former intern as well, twice now. But today, I am very excited to talk to you about the Faculty of Arts Internship Mentorship Initiative, or AMI, because it's quite a mouthful. AMI was created to form a student network of past and future interns and to foster a more in-depth, personalized mentor-mentee relationship between students. Hearing all these wonderful student speakers, you might be wondering how that can be you next year. Well, whether you're thinking of pursuing a summer internship but you're not sure where to start, or if you have a specific organization in mind, AMI is not just networking, but it's an amazing opportunity to learn firsthand from our mentors' experiences. This program is open to students in the Faculty of Arts or the Faculty of Arts and Science. You can sign up to be a mentee through our website, but you can also sign up to be an AMI mentor through our website if you are a student who has successfully completed an internship or received internship awards through the Faculty of Arts office. As AMI mentors, students will receive an official recognition on my involvement as part of your co-curricular record. As a mentor, you will practice leadership and interpersonal skills through communication and active listening, and you will be helping a fellow student. If you have more questions, there's more information on our website, but we will also be around in our breakout rooms after to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavya. Hi, everyone. My name's Ann Turner, and I'm manager of the Arts Internship Office, better known as AIO. The AIO team focuses on being a student-centered office. We're always ready to help and guide you with the internship process. I hope to have the opportunity to meet many of you in the breakout session later or during the course of the semester. I'd like to now introduce the AIO staff to you. First, I will start with Catherine Kwan, Leah Grial, and 4 members of our student staff, Kavya Mohan, who you just met, Samuel Jate, Zach Nanji, and Mune Musafiri, joining us from Nairobi. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Kwan, and I'm the liaison officer of the Arts Internship Office. So very nice to meeting all of you today virtually, and I really look forward to meeting all of you again in the breakout session.
Hi, my name is Leah. I work for the Arts Internship Office and for the Internship Office's network. And you can get in touch with me if you're interested in any of ION workshops, such as upcoming workshops on writing CV and cover letters specifically for internships, which I think is really helpful at this point. And you can also look into many ION opportunities, such as the PATHY Fellowship or the newly open OECD internship that is open for application. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Q&A session as well. Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Samuel, and this is my first year actually that I've done at the Arts Internship Office. I'm quite happy to help students just like students have helped me in the past. And so I'll be working every Monday and can help people if ever needing help. Basically, every Monday there's drop-in hours, and so I'll be there to answer questions if ever you have some.
Hi everyone, my name is Mune Musafiri. I'm part of the AIO staff, also previous intern, and also receive funding from the office itself. Looking forward to joining you guys in my session. Take care.
Hi everyone, we just met. I'm Kavya and I'm a part of the staff as well. I'm hoping that you guys will come to our sessions, our upcoming sessions, and we will see you in the breakout rooms.
Hi everyone, my name's Zach. Looking forward to seeing you also in the breakout sessions and looking forward to helping you out this year finding an internship. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for the AIO team for their introduction. After hearing their presentations, I'm sure many of you may have questions about internship awards. How does it work? What are the eligibilities? What are the internship opportunities available for our students, upcoming events, etc. So we will have 7 QA sessions that take place right after. You can choose 1 or more sessions to attend. And in each QA session, there will be a student speaker and an AIO staff member to answer your questions. It will be much smaller groups that you can feel free to speak to us directly, ask any questions that you might have. The QA session Zoom links have been sent to your email earlier today, and we will be also sharing you to the chat box, and you can simply click and access. But before we leave for the QA, I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the AIO upcoming events. So on October 1st, we will have the workshop called Marketing Your Internship to Find a Job. On 16th, there will be an event called Army Meet and Greet, where mentors and mentees get to meet each other. And October 20th, we will have the Internship CV workshop. And on 27th, there will be an internship info section where you can learn about the internship opportunities for summer 2021. And on 30th, there will be an internship cover letter workshop. And on November 6th, there will be another internship info section. So there are a lot of resources that the AIO provides to help students to prepare their internship. So please stay connected with our office. Follow our Facebook. We'll be posting internship opportunities, exciting events from time to time. If you need advice on internship, don't hesitate to write to us to aio@mcgill.ca. We are simply an email away. And we also have job-in hours on every Monday and Friday from 10 to 12 in the morning, Montreal time. We really look forward to hearing from you. So lastly, thank you again for attending today's event, and special thank you to our generous donors and AUS for making this internship possible. We look forward to meeting you at the QA sessions. I will be sending the links in the chat box very soon, and I will be also staying in this session for 5 minutes more to answer any question, answer any technical question that you might have.